Cold War. The Cold War refers to a political and military standoff between nations without direct battles. Instead, it involved strategies like propaganda, espionage, and proxy wars. The most notable Cold War was between the USA and the Soviet Union, 1947 to 1989. Colonial War. Colonial wars were conflicts between colonial powers and native populations or rival colonial groups, driven by economic and territorial expansion. Invasion. An invasion is a large-scale military attack where one country forcefully enters another's territory to conquer, liberate, or take control. Conventional war. Conventional warfare involves organized state armies using traditional weapons and battlefield tactics while following set rules. Unconventional war. Unconventional warfare uses non-traditional methods like guerrilla tactics and insurgencies to exploit the weaknesses of a stronger enemy. Total war. Total war mobilizes all resources of a society, making civilian resources and infrastructure part of the conflict. Limited war. Limited wars have specific objectives, avoiding widespread destruction. Restrictions are often placed on weapons or strategies. Nuclear war. Nuclear war involves the use of nuclear weapons, causing massive explosions and long-term radiation effects. Undeclared war. An undeclared war is a conflict where no formal declaration is made by the nations involved. World war. World wars are large-scale global conflicts involving multiple nations and alliances, like World War I and II. Chemical war. Chemical warfare uses toxic substances to harm humans, animals, or the environment. Biological war. Biological warfare involves spreading diseases or toxins to harm people, animals, or crops. Electronic war. Electronic warfare uses electromagnetic signals to jam communications, intercept data, or disrupt enemy systems. Information war. Information warfare involves spreading misinformation or cyber attacks to influence opinions or undermine opponents. Guerrilla war. Guerrilla warfare uses small mobile groups and tactics like ambushes or sabotage, often against larger armies. War of liberation. A war of liberation is fought by groups or nations to free themselves from control or occupation, aiming for independence. Space war. Space warfare involves military activities in outer space, like satellite attacks or conflicts over space assets. Psychological war. Psychological warfare manipulates emotions and perceptions to confuse, scare, or influence opponents. Proxy war. A proxy war is a conflict where external powers support opposing groups within a country without direct involvement. Fault line war. Fault line wars arise from deep cultural, ethnic, or religious divisions within a country. Civil war. Civil wars are internal conflicts within a country due to political, social, or economic divisions. Range war. Range wars were disputes over grazing land and water rights, often seen in the American West. Economic war. Economic wars use financial strategies like sanctions or trade restrictions to weaken an adversary. Religious war. Religious wars are conflicts driven by differences in faith or beliefs, often seeking to impose or protect religious ideologies. Political war. Political wars use diplomacy, propaganda, or economic measures to influence others without direct military action. Attrition. War attrition. Warfare seeks to gradually weaken an enemy through continuous losses over time. Asymmetric war. Asymmetric warfare involves weaker forces using unconventional tactics against stronger armies. Expeditionary war. Expeditionary wars involve military operations conducted outside a nation's borders. Hybrid war. Hybrid warfare combines traditional and unconventional strategies, including cyber and propaganda tactics. Cyber warfare targets digital systems to disrupt or damage networks for strategic gain. Entomological war. Entomological warfare uses insects to spread diseases or damage crops as a biological tactic.